Six p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan, the news read by Zahra Sikandar. First, the headlines. Senate today passed a unanimous resolution warning that any misadventure by India will be met with a firm, swift and decisive response. Foreign Office says Pakistan will take all appropriate steps to preserve sanctity and smooth implementation of Indus Waters Treaty. United Nations Secretary-General has appealed to Pakistan and India to exercise maximum restraint. Prime Minister has directed live broadcast of privatization process of PIA and all SOEs on television and digital platforms to ensure transparency. Complete shutdown is being observed today in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir against controversial Waqf Amendment Act. In Pakistan, Super League Karachi Kings will take on Quetta Gladiators in Lahore tonight. And now the news in detail. The Senate today unanimously passed a resolution emphatically stating that any misadventure by India will be met with a firm, swift and decisive response. The resolution, moved by Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar, stated that Pakistan remains fully capable and prepared to defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity against any aggression, including water terrorism or a military provocation. It recalled that Pakistan clearly demonstrated its robust and valiant response to India's reckless actions in February 2019. The resolution emphasized that people of Pakistan remain committed to peace but will not allow anyone to transgress the country's sovereignty, security and interest. Condemning terrorism in all its forms and manifestations, the Senate resolution strongly rejected all frivolous and baseless attempts to link Pakistan with Pahalgam attack in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. It emphasized that killing of innocent civilians is contrary to the values upheld by Pakistan. The Senate condemned the orchestrated and malafide campaign by the Indian government to malign Pakistan, which follows a familiar pattern of exploiting the issue of terrorism for a narrow political gain. Pakistan will take all appropriate steps to preserve sanctity and smooth implementation of Indus Water Treaty. At his weekly media briefing in Islamabad today, Foreign Office spokesperson Shafkat Ali Khan said India is in no position to make any unilateral decision to hold it in abeyance in the absence of any relevant legal provision on the treaty. He said the unlawful, unilateral and irresponsible Indian announcement has threatened the very foundations of the entire edifice of the inter-states cooperation and smooth implementation of the treaties. The spokesperson said Pakistan is a responsible country and remains committed to fulfill its obligations under the international law and bilateral agreements. Shafkat Ali Khan again made it clear that Pakistan will take all measures to defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity. As part of ongoing diplomatic engagement, Foreign Secretary Amna Baloch has briefed heads of missions and diplomats based in Islamabad on the latest developments following the Pahalgam attack. She outlined the key takeaways from the National Security Committee meeting, categorically rejecting India's baseless allegations linking Pakistan to the attack. The Foreign Secretary warned that India's attempts to weaponize terrorism for political gains threaten regional peace and security. She also cautioned against India's escalatory actions and reaffirmed Pakistan's resolve to respond firmly to any aggressive moves. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has appealed to Pakistan and India to exercise maximum restraint. Speaking at a news conference in New York, Secretary-General spokesperson Stephen Dujarric said the Secretary-General has stressed both the countries to ensure that the situation and the developments which have taken place following the armed attack in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir does not deteriorate any further. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has directed authorities concerned to ensure transparency in the privatization of PIA. During a meeting to review ongoing process of privatization of PIA in Islamabad, he said privatization process of PIA and all future state-owned enterprises be broadcast live on television and digital platforms. Shehbaz Sharif instructed that privatization of PIA should be ensured within the proposed time frame. He further directed for conducting roadshows to take investors into full confidence regarding the privatization process. The Central Development Working Party has approved 7 developmental projects of over 100 billion rupees. The approval was accorded at the CDWP's meeting in Islamabad today, with Planning Minister Ehsan Iqbal in the chair. The approved projects include development of the National University of Medical Sciences Rawalpindi, the establishment of Sakhar IBA University campus at Mirpur Khas, and the Gwadar Safe City project. This is Radio Pakistan. The United States has underscored its commitment to support Pakistan's economic development through expanded trade, increased investment, and closer business-to-business ties. The resolve was expressed by the United States Charge d'Affaires Natalie Baker during her meeting with the representatives of American Business Council in Karachi. According to the U.S. Embassy, her visit to Karachi is part of efforts to strengthen trade ties and expand business partnerships between the both countries. She also met with senior executives from prominent Pakistani companies to discuss economic trends, investment opportunities, and strategies for enhancing commercial cooperation. The discussions covered a range of topics, including Pakistan's engagement with the International Monetary Fund, ongoing reforms to improve the business climate, and regional trade integration. Pakistan has reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to the purposes and principles of the United Nations Charter. In his message on the occasion of International Day of Multilateralism and Diplomacy for Peace, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar said Pakistan firmly believes that multilateralism, inclusive dialogue, and respect for the United Nations Charter are the cornerstone of global peace and stability. Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred 1 Kashmir youth in a fake encounter in Bandipora district of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. According to Kashmir Media Service, the locals said the youth was arrested yesterday and was killed by the troops during a cordon search operation in Kulnar, Buizapura area of the district today. Earlier, 2 Indian Forces personnel were critically injured in an attack nearby area of the district. Meanwhile, complete shutdown is being observed today in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir against the controversial Waqf Amendment Act. In a statement in Srinagar, APAC spokesperson Abdul Rashid Minhas said Waqf Act is an anti-Muslim move and a direct assault on political, religious, and social identity of Kashmiris and Indian Muslims. In India, normal life is disrupted due to a shutdown in the Imphal Valley, the violence-hit Manipur state. A 24-hour shutdown was called to protest the custodial death of a 27-year-old man earlier this month. Markets and educational establishments were closed and public vehicles remained off the roads in Imphal East and Imphal West districts. The United Nations says billions of people around the world are unemployed or living under the fear of job loss due to economic instability, conflict, and climate change. According to the World Social Report 2025, around 60% of people surveyed on life satisfaction reported that they were struggling. Another 12% described themselves as suffering. At least 12 people were martyred by Israeli forces in Gaza today. Those who lost their lives in today's attacks include an entire family of 5 residing in a tent shelter in southern Gaza. In Pakistan Super League, Karachi Kings will take on Quetta Gladiators in the 15th match of the league in Lahore today. The match will start at 8 in the night. And finally, the weather. Mainly hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while very hot in southern parts during the next 12 hours. However, partly cloudy weather with light rain, wind, and thunderstorm may occur at isolated places in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan, and Kashmir during evening and night. To end the news, here again are a few of the headlines. Senate today passed a resolution warning that any misadventure by India will be met with a firm, swift, and decisive response. Foreign Office says Pakistan will take all appropriate steps to preserve sanctity and smooth implementation of Indus Waters Treaty. United Nations Secretary General has appealed to Pakistan and India to exercise maximum restraint. Prime Minister has directed live broadcast of privatization process of PIA and all state-owned enterprises on television and digital platforms to ensure transparency. And with this, we come to the end of the news for the moment. For more news and analyses, visit our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.